I feel like it's really important. It's important for you to get straight A's in school, like study well and get good grades. But when you step into the workforce, it's also important for you to have the interpersonal skills.
Skills is very important.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence as well.
Yeah.
Ting.
Yeah.
Put up a sound there. Ting.
Like I'm pretty sure that's something employers look for a lot in like potential candidates. Hello and welcome back to a new episode of the GRADUAN Go podcast. As usual, my name is Mia and today I have two more speakers with me and they're also from Team GRADUAN. So from there, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Desi. I'm from GRADUAN.
My name is Jiha. It's me again.
Yes. What do you guys do in GRADUAN again?
So I'm a software developer. I'm an application developer in GRADUAN.
I'm PR and events team of GRADUAN.
Yep.
You?
Oh, I'm the content creator of GRADUAN.
Social media girly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So today, in our episode today, we will talk about learning is a lifelong journey. Okay. So
wow, that's cool.
Right. So jumping into the topic, let's start with let me ask you guys one question. What does lifelong learning mean to you, and how do you actively pursue it in your daily life? So, if you ask me, I think that... Okay, let's start with this. Do you guys think, because we've all graduated, right? We're not studying anymore. Yeah, we've graduated, now we're working. But does that mean learning stopped for you after you graduate?
Obviously,
of course no.
What?
Exactly.
Does it stop for you?
No. Yeah, that's what I think as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So what I think is lifelong learning, it means that learning or gaining knowledge is something that you do throughout your entire life. It's not just something that you do when you're in school, in college or uni.
I would say since we come to the world.
Exactly.
We start learning how to
We
walk.
will never go back.
Yes. We start learning how to walk, how to talk, and then how to eat, first of all.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like every day there's something new that you learn that you never knew how to do before.
Yeah.
And, like, you wake up one day and like for me, I feel like it's based on like the experiences you gain as you grow older and like as you gain like a new daily routine. Or just like when you meet new friends or like new people.
Yes.
So obviously when we're at work, right?
Yeah,
we meet new people.
meet
Especially at work
everyone.
nowadays, like we learn everything. I mean, like daily there's something new coming up, and we gotta adapt to it, and we gotta learn
Exactly.
it, and then we gain more knowledge towards it. Yeah, I think as per what you said, learning is not there's no end for learning. Yes, correct. So it's like a continuous process that we keep on going from the day that we were introduced in this world till now.
Yes.
Exactly.
I agree. And it's like, even though like now you're doing software engineering, right?
I'm
You
doing
wouldn't
PR
say
and
like,
events. And of course, I'm also learning every day about the IT teams punya kind of works and all that.
Even though like we're hired for like a certain skill, I feel like when you're in that role, you still learn new things.
Yes.
You still learn like how to do like, maybe as a software engineer, you wouldn't say like you're already like an expert to like do everything.
Never.
There's always like something new. You're like, oh right, I can do this.
I mean, there's like a place where I do feel like I'm like, oh, I think I know this. But eventually, I know that, oh no, I have to learn more. I mean, there's things keep on going. And I'm like, if you stop there, that means you're not learning anymore and you don't get more knowledge.
Exactly.
And people keep on growing, you know. So like what you said, knowledge needs, and it's a learning process throughout our life.
And I also think that as you like practice your skills every day,
Yeah.
maybe at work, you practice your skills every day. Like you do your like coding or programming.
Yes.
Jiha goes out and like talk to clients and then you organize
yeah,
like spreadsheets and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and for me as well, I do social media. And I would think like before I like went into this job, I think like, oh, social media, like what is there to
Explore,
learn? What is there
right?
to
What do
explore,
you
right?
even do in it, right?
Yeah, but actually,
is there anything that you need to learn about social media?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
social media is something that we scroll every day. There is something new about to learn and all that. Of course, you do.
yeah, when you spend more time on it,
Yeah.
there's like you learn like, oh, there's like a more efficient process to like post all your like social media postings.
Set a schedule. Not
Yeah.
to post it right on time. Things like that.
Yeah.
Putting up a point, knowing how to speak in a podcast.
That's something
That's
you
something-
never imagined.
Yes.
You'll be speaking
This
in a
like
podcast.
when I was like I'm employed here and I don't even know that I'm gonna speak in a podcast, and immediately I got called out by the digital team like, you know what?
Let's just do
Yeah,
it.
let's just do a
Yeah.
podcast, man. Oh, this was my like experience
as
learning
well.
it. Yeah.
I applied for content in GRADUAN, and now I'm speaking in front of the camera,
Yeah.
which I didn't know I had
And
to
we
do
are on
it.
YouTube, guys. Come on. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like something we learn, you know?
Yeah.
I would say that's like a learning process throughout our career life,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah. So that's my take on it.
Probably
Yeah.
before entering GRADUAN, I fear to talk in front of the cameras. But look at now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Something different.
So thank you, Mia, and all the team for letting us to learn a new
Yeah.
thing, speaking in front of cameras and do podcasts.
Yeah, so basically how we actively pursue learning in our daily lives is just to like go out there, talk to more people and meet more people and get opportunities.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Yeah. So that's our first question.
Oh,
now, when we talk about like lifelong learning, I want to ask you guys, do you know the difference between being book smart and being street smart? Gina, what do you
Yes.
think about it?
For me, being a book smart is for someone who scores on exams, scores on papers, basically academics wise.
Like
but
smart.
no. But for someone who is street smart, I think it's more on how they work on their common sense, how they get to interact with other people.
Yeah.
Basically, like more into personal skills, communication skills. and-
Thinking outside the box.
yeah, thinking outside the box, outside of peppers. It's something that you have to put in yourself, and I think it's quite crucial as much as important being book smart and also street smart as well.
Correct. Yeah,
Yep.
I feel the same way. What do you think?
Yeah,
about
yeah,
you?
I feel the same way as well because looking at how we all grew up, it's the way that we were portrayed, saying that okay, you have to
To
study.
be book smart.
Yeah, you have to be
Yeah.
book smart and you have to study.
Yeah.
But
Growing
then-
up in an Asian
less-
household.
yes, exactly,
some more.
exactly that household.
Less
man. Come
people
on.
highlight on how important it is also to being a street smart
Yes, I
person.
mean like problem solving skills comes from the experiences that we learn during our street smart life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So eventually, but people say that I'm book smart, I'm street smart. No, but eventually you're both.
It's a completely
yes, it's
different
a combination of
thing.
both things that you need to learn. You need to know the knowledge of what you're gonna do, and you need to know how you're gonna solve the problem. That's what street smart is, and that's what book smart is. So at the end of the day, I think it's a combination of both that everyone is going through, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see it book smart or street smart. I see it as a combination of both.
It goes a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, like what I said, you know? Yeah. What about you, Mia?
Yeah, so for me, being street smart is, I think Jiha actually explained it very well.
Yeah,
You
correct.
as well. Now, I want to know, on that note, for our younger viewers out there who are still studying
Yes.
and
Yeah.
who are interested in entering the workforce,
Yes,
do you
especially.
think being book smart or being street smart is more important when you enter the workforce?
Like I mentioned, it goes
Vice
both
versa.
ways,
Mm.
vice
Yeah.
versa. Because, of course, what you studied during your studies life is important because you're going to apply it during your workforce industries and all that. But at the same time, it's very important to be one of those smart book person as well, because that's how you're going to curate everything that you're going to do in your workforce, and
Yeah.
especially with everyone you are meeting when you are doing your job.
Yeah,
It's-
how do you speak to clients without knowing
Yeah,
how to speak
it's-
to them, right?
exactly. Yeah.
What you're doing in your job is completely different thing about what you have learned in the
Yeah.
classroom. It's totally different
It's
thing.
like, hello, I am
Yeah.
Daisy, and then you're gonna be
And
like,
you are not learning it on papers.
yeah, and then you gotta meet clients, you be like, hello, I am Daisy. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
difference, you know? Yeah.
Yes.
And
that's-
sometimes at work, there's like unexpected things happening, and then
Yes.
you just have to think about how to deal with the conflict. And sometimes it's not something that you can learn from textbooks.
Yes, correct. Like, putting on to me, I'm a software engineer right now, right? So, back in university, I learned how to code and what is the language and all this kind of stuff. But when I come into my real working world, there's problems that we can't even imagine of.
Exactly.
Like, all of a sudden, you're typing coding all the way, and then suddenly there's one error coming up, and you try to search out for the error on online. So you go up, you try to search for it, and you can't find a
It's
solution.
not there.
Yeah, it's not there. And what do you expect me to do? I mean,
Yeah.
I studied all the books, and
Yeah.
I don't know how to solve it. So that's when I start using latest technologies, ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and most of the online.
And also, you probably ask around from people
yes,
who
yes,
probably know
my
more
my
about
work
it.
colleagues and my
Yeah.
friends, and whoever knows and whoever is more knowledgeable in this department, I would contact to them and I ask them, and then they can give me their insights and I can use that, and then later on I can solve the problem somehow. But it takes time.
Together.
Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
time. Doesn't mean that I'm being the textbook guy and I'm like just going through it.
We don't even have books in the office, guys. So
Yeah, we don't have books in the
I mean,
office.
we don't even have
I
books.
feel like there's no choice but to like actually go out and talk to people,
Yeah.
or like find like that
online
information
resources
yourself.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's when like we learn more and we know how to solve issues.
we learn more and then we do better the next
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
So-
So, in my opinion, when you're applying for jobs as a student,
Yeah.
like, you just graduated and you're looking for jobs, I think that's why when you get your first like letter after you apply for a job,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
You go into an interview.
Okay.
Why do you think people do that? Because they want to get
they
to know
need
you,
to
right?
see you how you're going to speak. I actually tell students whenever I go to unis, it's actually how you speak. We
Yeah,
don't
correct.
really concern about the content of what you are speaking. Of course, it is important, but the first thing that the recruiter wanted to see is how you speak in front of the people.
Exactly.
Yeah, because your job later consists you meeting a lot of people,
Yeah, correct. Like
talking, speaking up in front of people. Then if you don't pass it, like exit during the first interview, like macam susah lah kan.
no, and also like communication with your teammates in your office.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if like I mean, some people are introvert and extrovert. I mean, it doesn't matter. But then when you work in a team, so we gotta communicate and all this
Yeah.
stuff, right? So that's when we go to an interview, they gotta see who we are actually in first
Yep.
place.
I feel like a lot of like past job seekers would complain like, oh, like they stepped into this interview with another person and their like CV or like maybe resume degree is like more impressive. Like in school they got like straight A's and they were in like tons of clubs.
But when
joined
they
a lot
are
of
as
things.
a person, they're completely different.
Yeah, and then they
person.
step into the interview, and then so fast forward, the person who with a CV that's not as impressive as the other one got the job. So they're like, oh, they would email back to the employer. They're like, oh, why didn't I get in? And then the employer had to
Like
explain
explain
that.
why.
Yeah,
right?
we don't think that you can speak very well, and I don't think you would fit into the work culture here.
Understand?
Yeah, so I feel like it's really important. It's important for you to get straight A's in school, like study well and
Yeah,
like get
yeah.
good grades. But when you step into the workforce, it's also important for you to have the interpersonal skills.
Skills is very important.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence as well.
Yeah.
Ting.
Yeah.
Put up a sound there. Ting.
Like I'm pretty sure that's something employers look for a
Yes.
lot in like potential candidates.
Because do you guys agree? Because when you guys went into interviews, they are not really asking much from what you guys
anything
wrote
regarding your
on the
degree.
resume CVs. Yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
ask more on like your lifestyle, your personality.
What do
how
you do during weekends?
surround, how you surround yourself.
What do you
with
like to do in your free
people.
time?
Yeah.
And
it's
in your head,
important.
it's like, why would they ask something
Yes.
that's not related to the job?
Yeah.
But actually, it's their way of getting to know you
Yes,
and to
correct.
see if you're a good fit for the company.
So as much as you wanted to exceed in academics, be active as well in
Yeah,
curriculums. It's very important. Join whatever programs that you can, that can be put in your resume and show how you act as person.
I think it should be like more engaging to people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
something that we engage with people outside, your friends, your family, and everyone. So that's when you start learning new things, you know. So, for example, let me get it to an example.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to post things on LinkedIn, you know.
You didn't.
You know, you go to my LinkedIn, there's nothing there till I came into GRADUAN, and then I saw Jihad's LinkedIn, and I was like, yeah, how do you post this? And she's like, you know what? You just go and then you just browse out something, and then you just put something, and it's gonna be more insights. You know, people are gonna know you more. So that's when I learned something, a new thing, where I can post up things on LinkedIn. You know, at the first, I don't even know what's the purpose of LinkedIn.
Then I
Yeah.
explained it to him. Through event, he came to me and asked, how do I create my LinkedIn?
So I have a LinkedIn and I know like I have a job and I just keep on updating my work experiences and all this stuff. But I'm not too engaging on that, saying that, okay, we had activities on GRADUAN, we did this, we went to like, Genting, for example.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So all of this. So I didn't even post up something. So till then, I asked Jiha, you're so much engaging on LinkedIn. I mean, how do you do it? And then she's like, you know what? That's where I engage with people. I network with people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? That's a skill that I gotta know.
Okay, question. Have you started to update your LinkedIn profile?
Yes, but yeah.
Really? Later I check.
Yeah, you should. You should.
See, you didn't know how to use LinkedIn before, and through work and through a colleague,
Yeah.
you started learning about it, and then you started to realize, oh yeah, maybe like being active on LinkedIn does like make a difference.
Yeah, it makes huge differences. Like people notice you. Like
Fun fact, LinkedIn can help us in terms of our interpersonal skills as well.
Exactly.
You connect with people. Don't say that you can just have to do it offline. Physical interaction, sometimes online platform helps too.
Yeah, I think we tell that to all the graduates who come
Talent
to our
seekers,
career
yes.
fairs as well. Like when you go to these career fairs, don't just talk to the employers. Maybe after you talk to them, you ask them questions. You ask them to connect as well.
Yeah.
And through LinkedIn is something that is like the easiest way for you to like connect with them and message them after the networking. For the younger generation these days, right? I feel like a lot of them might decide not to pursue their studies because they see social media as like a more profitable career
instead of studying.
Yeah.
And then
What
they
do you
can earn
think
even
about
extra
that?
money. I think to continue with what you love, your passion is very important. But I think education as a base is far more important.
Yeah, correct.
Because like you need to have a solid base of education to do everything. Like you can do social media, but what is about social media that you have to learn as well? There's like boundaries, limitations that will show you how you are as a person if you conduct a social media. So don't say that you don't have to continue your studies in order to pursue your life as a social media creator. It is important. Along the way, you at one point you will realize, oh, there's something I have to learn.
Yeah.
Instead of just pursuing without knowing nothing about social
Adding
media
on a point
itself.
where social media is like, a place where we gotta know what is insights, what is organic content, and all these kind of stuff, So if you don't have a proper knowledge on how social media works and you're gonna get onto social media, there's a sea of sharks waiting out there.
You would never know.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, like, there's a sea of sharks waiting out
Yeah.
there. How are we expecting us to get the reach without knowing how do we get the reach?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the younger generation these days, they might think like, you just need to get on social media, get a lot of views,
Engagements, create content.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
and then
you
brands
can.
will be lining up for you. I don't think it's that easy. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of content creators or like influencers I know on the internet, they also encourage
people
like
to study. Yes.
like the
Yeah.
younger generation to pursue your studies, because when you're in school or when you're in uni, you learn so much more than what you do in textbooks.
Yes,
You
correct.
learn how to engage with people. You learn how to deal with conflict, which is something you will face when you're working.
Starting from composing an email to your brands to
Exactly.
replying the email. Looking at the younger generation, they do have to like prioritize education as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like what Mia said just now, what education comes in, like how do we communicate, how do we compose an email, how do we engage, and how do we network to people, and all this kind of stuff comes in.
It's
the
the
education.
smallest things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when you can think about content creation and all these kind
Plus,
of.
it takes a lot of time for you to like work on your social media presence.
Yeah.
Before you get all the brands lining up for you and to get followers and all that.
Yeah.
I feel like all the content creators and influencers out there work really hard to get to
day
where
and
they
night
are.
for it, man.
Yeah.
That's kudos, claps.
All right. So I think we're reaching the end of this podcast session. Now, for the final question, I want to ask you guys, in your opinion, do you think there is ever a point where someone can feel fully knowledgeable? Like they think, oh yeah, I've known everything there is to know.
Mr.
about
Know
this world."
everything.
Yeah. Or is learning an endless process?
We should ask Mia first.
Okay.
Because she has been like communicating with us more. I think
Okay.
it's time for Mia to answer first.
So in my opinion, I don't think it's possible for anyone to think that they've they're fully knowledgeable and they think like, oh yeah, I've known everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing else out there to learn about. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I mean,
so
like what you said, that it is a process from a baby
Yeah.
till you're old.
Now
man.
we are an adult.
Yeah, adult and like you're old. It's a process, right? So
Yeah.
that's how I consider learning as from you're born till you're dead. You gotta learn everything.
everything.
So it's a continuous process. For me, I don't even count. Someone says that I know everything. You gotta learn everything. Yeah.
You
that's-
think you know everything, and then you start talking to like other people. They're like, oh, actually, it's not
This
just that. There's
way,
like
but yeah.
more to it. Yeah.
And if I may add, just be nice to everyone. Don't think of whatever position, of whatever who they are. Don't thought less of other people, and just be kind, be nice to everyone, because you will never know how that one person can help you in some days in
Yes.
future. We will never know. So just
Exactly.
be kind with everyone. Some people, one person will help you in different kind of ways. That we help each other and we learn everything from each other as well.
That's a
like,
deep advice, though.
like imagine like if you're like we're like executives, right? And then
Yeah.
an intern comes in. We can't look at them like,
Yeah.
oh, like we
That
probably know
intern
better than them.
probably will teach us something as well.
Exactly. You can learn something from everyone regardless of their position.
You can learn something from a baby. How to have fun.
Oh.
Right? Come on.
Real.
We are corporate people, man. We don't even know how to have
Yeah,
fun.
sometimes we look at the baby. Oh,
It's like,
how fun to be
yeah.
a baby. You
Yeah.
want to be like her.
So that's like, you see, you learn something, right?
Yeah.
So don't judge a book by its
Its
cover
cover.
or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like learning is a continuous process. Keep on learning.
Right.
To answer your question, just be nice, because we definitely will get help from people, and you will never expect how that one person can help you in many ways and how it can lead you to something better in future.
Yep. That's right.
Okay.
And all right, so thank you so much, Desi and Jiha, for
Thank you,
today.
guys.
And I hope our viewers out there who are watching this video, I hope you gain a little bit more insight. And also
Don't stop
remember that
learning.
Yes.
exactly, learning is a lifelong process, you guys. So take your time, learn from your experiences and other people. And we'll see you in the next episode for more tips and tricks.
Bye, guys.